Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to be talking to you about Periodic, a game of the elements. But before we do, let's get into our pounds and inches segment. And guys, in the past 5 years, I've been in 3 weddings. And every single time I'm in a wedding, you have to buy a dress. And I have been the exact same size. I don't think anything of it. I go in, they measure me, and they say, you're in between this and this. And I just try the dresses on, get whatever. So anyway, I'm in another wedding. Congratulations, Lisa. And I went to go get the dress, and they measured me, and I wasn't here, guys. I was, boop, here. I just moved down. I didn't even know. I had no idea. So it was pretty exciting, this little unexpected surprise that happened of just, 11 months worth of trying really hard. And I got, boop. So pretty excited about that. But enough about periodic dress changes.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about Periodic, a game of the elements.
Alright, so this is a game that's obviously based off of the periodic table of elements. But rather than talk about it, let's show you for a minute. Here is the board setup for Periodic. Basically, the board itself is kind of a truncated version of the periodic table of elements. Around the sides, you kind of have this kind of circle of the different groups of the periodic table. At the top, you have these different goal cards that you're trying to achieve. At the beginning of the game, you're going to be dealt 3 of these agenda cards. They're going to give you some extra points and kind of a direction to head in. Like this top one here says, for each pairing of 3 and 4 molecule goal cards you complete, you're going to get 5 extra points. So those would be those ones at the very end there, those 3 and 4s. So in order to advance on those things, you basically need to end your turn with this little flask thing on one of those elements listed. So let's say we're trying to get to nitrogen, the top element of that purple card there. We can use our movement by using one of these periodic trends, and if we're able to finish our turn by landing on that element, we get to place one of our cubes on that particular card. Multiple people can be working towards the same card at the same time, but only the person who finishes all the elements listed on that card are going to get to take that card. Everyone else is going to get some little tokens that represent smaller victory points. All these little symbols here on the board, these little kind of wooden pieces, represent the different spots you want to go to on those goal cards. So for instance, for elements that Marie and Pierre Curie discovered, apparently it was polonium and radium. So they have the little markers there so that you kind of visually know where to go. The first 3 people who are also able to complete one of the goal cards is also going to get a token, a kind of an award of that color. It's going to help with your movement as well. How you're going to move around the board is basically you can either, if you want to move once on your turn, you can pick up a spot, and then you can move whatever that periodic trend is, up, down, left, right. Or, if you have, several of these energy tokens saved up, you can spend 1 token to move once. Let's say you can use 2 to move the next time, 2 to move a third time, and that way you can kind of drop multiple cubes on those different goal cards by moving multiple times. If you end your turn by ending your movement on the next kind of periodic group in the clockwise order, you get to move ahead on this academic track as well. So for instance, we ended our turn on one of these alkali metals. We would get to move our little microscope up, and we get to move ahead on the academic track. At the end of the game, you're going to get points for however far you are on the academic track, however many of those cards you've collected, the stars at the bottom of those, and also the points that were on your agenda card. Whoever has the most points wins.
So one of the first things that you could see probably when Ryan was showing you this, was showing you the game, was just the color palette. I really, really liked that pastel color palette and how it all looked on the board, and it was really pleasing to my eye.
What I like about this game is that, usually when I play like educational games, they are dull. Or when I play a fun game, it's not educational at all. I thought this did a really good job of kind of bridging those things together, making a fun educational game that just really worked as a game. It was fun, and it had this race vibe to it that I really liked.
I like how you could pivot in this game. So you have those objections, are those things that you're trying to get. Yeah, the goals that you're trying to get. But people are getting those. So somebody could swipe by and take out the one that you're working towards. And I like that there's 2 things that happen. That one, if you did have a marker on there, that you still get some pity points from that. And that 2, just a new one comes up. So you can pivot and try for something else. And so I like that. You don't feel like you're out of luck all the time. If somebody swipes in and takes something from you, you still have other options.
And this game goes by pretty quick. I mean, it does not overstay its welcome at all. So it makes you want to play it, over again and again in a night, or you can squeeze it into a time that you wouldn't maybe never be able to fit into a full hour and a half, 2 hour long game. You can squeeze in a 45-minute game of Periodic, and that's really nice.
So like I said, I really do enjoy the color palette, which is true. However, there is a caveat. There's these 2 color tokens that are...
For the player pieces?
Yeah, for the player pieces that are like pink and purple. It's like a really light purple and really dark. They're just like shades apart from each other. Like shades. And it annoyed me. It was one of the first things I saw in the game. So even though I really enjoy the color palette, there's that little caveat.
All right, so this is a game that I recommend. I think that it works really well on a number of levels. The gameplay is fun, but also the educational part of it. For us, that's maybe been away from learning about the periodic table for a while. It was a really nice refresher to kind of go back into those cards and remember that what are the 2 elements of table salt? It's Na and Cl.
Like you forgot that.
Well, okay, I didn't. Maybe you did. I don't know, maybe someone out there did. What are the things that Madame Curie discovered? Those kinds of things. It was just really nice to have those educational moments in this game. And if someone is learning this game for the first time, or learning about the periodic table for the first time, this would be a great way to kind of make it come alive and have it be kind of fun for them. So in a classroom setting, this would probably be, amazing. Now, it's a little bit too advanced for our 6-year-old, for instance, but someone who's 10 or 12 learning about chemistry for the first time, this I think would be a really cool tool to use for that.
Yeah, but like Ryan said, you don't actually have to know anything about the table of elements.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, if you make it as educational as you want, you can just kind of chase down those different symbols and letters, get the points, and move on with your life, play the game. Or, you can go much deeper with it, and it actually comes with a full book explaining all the different things in the game and why they work mathematically and scientifically, and how the game came to be, and what elements from the periodic table they use and why. And it's just a really neat kind of concept for that.
Yeah, I actually did enjoy that book, and I perused it because it had been a while since I cheated in my chemistry class. I mean...
I hope not. I'm telling. I'm calling the police.
Okay, first of all, we didn't practice this. First of all, the teacher encouraged us to cheat. He was like, if I send down a bunch of A's to the office, they don't care as much if I send down a bunch of F's. I'm not kidding. I'm not making that up.
Wow.
Judge me. Anyway.
That's our school system failing us. Thanks, Common Core.
We didn't even have...
I don't know, whatever it was then. Thanks.
You don't...
Public schooling.
Whatever. Public school was fine. Public school was fine. You could be as educational as you wanted it to be. Anyway, the point is, we're talking about this game, and I really enjoyed it. The main point that I would take away from this is that I would definitely play it again. If somebody wanted to play it, I would have no hesitation getting this game out and wanting to play it. Well, thanks for watching. If you like what you're watching, feel free to subscribe so you can see our reviews as they come out. And if you like what you're watching right now, go ahead and hit that like button. You can also follow us on Facebook under Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can follow us on Twitter if you want to talk and interact with us under Ryan and Bethany 1. If you want to see pictures of games we're currently playing, follow us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany. And then lastly, if you want to see a kind of behind the scenes look of what we're doing to achieve better health in our lives, you can follow our blog on Board Game Geek under Pounds and Inches.
All right, well, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.